It's a bird, it's a plane, it's another fanny pack. In this episode, the tactical fanny by Vertx. Let's go. If a rose were not a rose, would it still smell so sweet? It's kind of what I ask myself about fanny packs. I mean, a fanny pack, you gotta call it a fanny pack. It's a terrible name. Vertx here went with tactical fanny. Fanny, it is what it is. So let's go into today's fanny pack. First off, let me just say that nobody sponsored me for this video, so this is just a clean review of Vertx. I am a fan of Vertx. I think it's a great brand. Behind me, they've got the contingency duffel that I really like. Which brings me to this guy right here, this tactical fanny. I am giving it 2 stars at best. I had to fight for that. So let's go in detail of where I landed. So the quality of the bag, the craftsmanship of the bag is still there. It's what you'd expect from Vertx. You know, price is acceptable. I think look is maybe okay. This front thing here is really killing me. But the usability of this is just a total miss. And I'm so bummed, Vertx. Not even close. Let's walk through in some real details how someone might use this thing. Okay, so first on the outside, what you're seeing is kind of the spy cam. So this folds down and you slide a phone in here. I think the Velcro is totally unnecessary because where is your phone gonna go? But you slide a phone in here, flip it up, Velcro it back into place. So that alone was a ton of work. If you actually were gonna use this as a phone slot, somewhere where someone calls you and you quick pull it out and answer the phone, totally worthless, way too much work. What they do here is have kind of the spy cam thing. So if your camera is facing out here, you can tuck this in and then you can have the camera out. So if you're walking around with the fanny on or potentially in a sling position, you can be recording. I mean, if you're into surveillance mode, I imagine you've got better techniques than a huge iPhone sticking out of your belly. But anyway, so that to me just takes up a whole lot of really important space. So the usability of it already not that good. We open up first zipper, and the zippers are quality zippers. You open it up and they've got clear container on the front part. I really appreciate the clear so you can see through what your stuff is. Kind of a red zipper. I mean, it looks really nice. Again, a nice zipper pull. Zipper works really well. And here's where I've been keeping in some of my first aid supplies, and so chest seals and gauze and some other stuff. I didn't really find a really good place to put some other stuff, so I've got just like some random stuff here, lighters and chapstick. In the inside here at the bottom, just hanging down here, I got some zip ties and some rope. Okay, we've got 2 pockets which have Velcro on them. So again, a kind of a miss. I don't think you really need to Velcro anything like here. Like you're shoving it in and then closing the zipper, where's it gonna go? To me, it's more of an annoyance. If you're trying to slide a phone in, then you gotta fight with the Velcro. So I wouldn't have any Velcro, but the 2 pockets are of decent size. You can put a wallet in there. I found that my phone didn't really fit very well in here with a case on it. It was too tall. So again, a little bit of a miss there. Maybe a smaller phone would be fine. The quality again is good. The material on the inside is good. I'm happy with it. It's just okay. I'd get rid of the Velcro for sure. And then personally, what I'd like to see is more of a slot. Like if you have a Leatherman, there's really no good place to throw a Leatherman. Now, in other fannies, there aren't either. So I've just got it sitting in there. Okay, back zipper. Probably could use a little bigger pull on here because here's where you're going to store your firearm. First off, they include this in the back, which I think is really foolish because this is where your firearm is. You don't want anything around this. You just want a basic open case. If you had to use it, that as fast as you could, you'd peel it out and you could pull out a firearm. So I mean, I appreciate that you use this. You can put this on, again, like contingency duffel. A lot of the Vertx bags have a spot that you could use this. So if you had a couple different Vertx, you could put it somewhere else because it's a cool little patch. I mean, I like it. Just a little zipper, a little see-through. There is actually a gun holder, which I think is pretty neat, except that it doesn't really work. So this is, I don't have anything in here. This is a dagger, right? It's like a Glock 19 size, so a compact firearm. So you put it in the holster, and this has a light on it, and it does fit, which is cool. But this wouldn't close at all. Can you see this? Does not fit. That does not close. So a total miss. I think if they angled it different now. So what I've been doing is just throwing it in here, so I don't get to use that. I don't get to use the holster at all, and it just sits in there, and then the bag swallows it up very nicely. So I don't know if they should have tilted this or turned this at a little different or better angle. In here there is one tie-off, and people wonder what this is for. I'm not exactly sure. There's a couple different areas where you could tie off. I do know that some people like to carry with a trigger guard. So you'd have a trigger guard totally covering your trigger with a tie-off on a little bit of some paracord, and so that way if you were to grab the firearm and kind of pull up, the trigger guard would pop off, and then I suppose you'd have to kind of re-grab the firearm, but kind of cool. Okay, and then that takes us to the back here. They did put in some cut webbing, which for me, this kind of gives them the extra star to get to 2 stars. The cut webbing I think is a pretty cool feature. I've seen a couple different ways to use this. You know, you could use medical shears sliding here. Some people could use like a pick knife, so something that could sit diagonally. So if you were wearing it here or even on your belly, then you could just kind of grab and pull a knife out of a sheath. I thought that was a good feature. I haven't used this enough on bare skin. It's a little bit rough if you were to have it kind of tucked under your shirt to know if that would really rub much. The material here is pretty quality. Okay, so one other thing that I don't really like about the belting. The belting is comfortable. It doesn't look like it's going to cut you or scratch you, but so you can wear it as a fanny or as a sling, but you've got these straps hanging out all over the place. So for instance, okay, you can see when I went to the Shadow Systems CR920, so this is a subcompact firearm, that it actually does fit in the holster. What I noticed when I actually was practicing drawing with the dagger, with the compact size in here, remember it doesn't fit actually in the holster there, so I was just leaving it in there, and I was finding that I was getting hung up. I think the flash was getting hung up on this little holster in here, which is really not good. So you need to make sure that you use a small enough one that gets in there. With the holster in there, that is nice. It is holding very securely, and that worked well. So you just got to make sure you have a pretty small firearm in there, and then it's almost like you have a lot of wasted space. So if you ask me, Vertx should have put in probably on this side, or movable. I guess you should include a mag holder, so you could put a spare mag on one of these sides on the anti-draw side, just to be able to utilize a little bit more of the space. One thing I forgot to mention is they do have some little pockets here, which I think that's, you know, they kind of snuck in some tiny little pockets. I don't know if you want to put a little Gura gel there or something. I know that's what I think about from doing triathlons. But I'm sure you could find something to put in these little pockets. I don't know if you use it too much. If you notice when I'm wearing it, these straps are hanging out all over the place, and I really don't like it. To go from fanny to sling, it is pretty quick. You just can pull the clasp or just pull tighter, so that's fine. But again, I don't like having these strings loose all over the place. So, well, there you have it, Vertx. Unfortunately, on this tactical fanny, I call it a miss. 2 out of 5 stars. I think you can do so much better. Maybe trying to do too much in a tactical fanny. I showed you some clips of this next to my Kufaru. That's the Rogan. That's my standard EDC, and this one did not take the crown from the Kufaru. Well, I hope this review helps you decide how to do your EDC. You know, I really like the fanny idea because I like to carry a lot of medical, and I like to carry a firearm, and I like to put my keys in here, and my wallet in here, and my phone in here, and then you don't have it all bulky on your body. So I am a fan I just don't think this one hit the mark like I would have expected from Vertx. Again, still a great company. I think we can do better on the tactical fanny. Hope this helps you decide. Appreciate your reviews, like, comment, subscribe.